All right, let's go. So welcome to another episode of Ecom Reality, where we talk all things e-commerce, Shopify, Meta ads, Google ads, email marketing, CRO, and so on. So in this one, let's talk about Labor Day, because it's one of those holidays where you can have a sale, you can have a discount, you can mention that you offer something for free, right? It doesn't really matter what you do, but it's another opportunity to actually push some kind of offer, because as we know, if you don't have an offer, you're competing basically with everyone else who does have an offer. And guess what? Who is most likely to win? Someone who offers something for free, a discount, or you just offering your full price right now, right? Because people have to pick. They have a certain amount of budget, of disposable income, and they will spend it based on what seems like the best option, right? And right now, if it doesn't seem like your product, your service is the best option, then of course they probably won't buy. So let's talk about how to prep for Labor Day, because I would say most people will have something for Labor Day, and Labor Day actually will be on the 1st of September, and that's a Monday. And what we need to do basically is prep in advance. First of all, prep in advance, because you don't want to have 1 or 2 days left before prepping some ads. And second, you do need to, first of all, prepare some kind of offer, either be it, let's say, a BOGO. Buy something, get something for free. Buy 2, get 1 free. That's like a 30% off, right? Another is a BOGO, but for your lower, let's say, lower priced items, just a way to get new people in the door or get repeat customers. And this is where you can actually decide, what do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on AOV? If you want to focus on AOV, just say that you give something for free if someone spends over, let's say, $200, right? So you can always play with what you want to optimize for. And then if you want to have a BOGO, so buy one, get one, 50% off, ideally you do it on the things that you have a higher margin on, because that's when, let's say you sell a $20 product, but it costs you maybe 2, right? So it's like 90% margin. And this depends, of course, on the things that you sell and so on. But overall, there are many ways to go about it. So the offer, it can also be a straight discount. 15% off, 20% off, 25% off, whatever works, right? And this is where you have to decide, looking at your CAC and other metrics that we won't go over right now. So besides that, timing. How long will you actually run the campaign for? Because Labor Day will be on the 1st. So Monday, 1st of September, if I'm not mistaken, that should be the date. And at the same time, you can think of the weekend, because most offers for Labor Day will most likely start during the weekend. That's what I'm actually doing with many of the e-com brands that I'm working with, because otherwise we're wasting opportunities here. And since me and my team mainly focus on paid ads, we know how important it is to have more than 1 day or 2 days for ads, because otherwise we just don't have data to optimize for. So that's one main reason why we're trying to usually have the sales for a longer time. And that's what I suggest to all the e-com brands that I work with. And I just found the kitty here. But coming back to our usual program here. So what I would say is that ideally you do have it at least, let's say, between Friday. So it would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So 4 days basically. That's my recommendation for most brands, because if you don't have 4 days, it will be tough. You could have maybe 3 days, but why not sell on Friday, right? Because most people will be at home and you get a chance to get some data before the weekend. So that's my main recommendation. However, with some brands, if they are open, we will actually start on Thursday. Because as you know from Black Friday maybe, so many brands start their sale on 1st of November. So 1st of November to end of November. So it's basically a full month. So Black Friday is not a day anymore, it's not a week, it's basically a full month. And that's because it works. It depends on the brand that you have for sure. But for some of them, it just works. So if you can afford to have a sale and you are focusing more on acquiring new customers, then that's when it would actually make sense to really focus on giving a discount for a longer time. And then, of course, making sure that you get some repeat purchases as well. So first of all, we were talking about the offer, second about the duration, and then three, how to promote it. So on the paid ad side and also on the email side, it's all about making sure you send emails, you have ads prepared. So on the email side, it's pretty easy. Ideally, you just send as many emails as possible. I would definitely suggest all of those 4 days, one a day. There's no point in not sending. It's easy. Even I could design it, you know, like I'm not going to design it, but if I wanted to, I could definitely do it. So that wouldn't be necessarily a problem. So besides that, for the ads side, this is where you can prepare so many, and fortunately, because you might have enough time, I would actually suggest having videos, images, so both formats. You could even try GIFs, but honestly, they never really stand out, so I wouldn't really recommend. And besides that, something that I would make sure that you have is different variations of each, because let's be honest, you can create an image with, let's say, 25% off Labor Day, right? However, what's the image there? Because if you have one, you just have one opportunity to win, let's say. If you have 2, 3, or 5, you have way more opportunities to find a winner, because in most cases you don't know what will work best. You might have some past data, and of course I also try to abide by the best practices, but even with all of that, you can't really know exactly what will work. So I'm just a bigger fan of having enough quantity to eventually get to quantity, or to have so much quantity that it's almost impossible for you to not find a winner. And that's my take here, because you just want to be, if you want to win, of course, you want to be one of the hardest but also smartest working people in the room, in the world, right, wherever you are. And it's definitely a process, because there's always someone better than you, someone who will spend more time than you anyway, you know, so just be aware of that. Because no matter what effort you're putting, probably someone is putting 20, 50, 100% more, right? And there's definitely a balance, because I also am not trying to kill myself with work, but I do like to win. I do like my brands that I work with to win, the people that I work with to also be happy. So it's a matter of making sure there's a win-win-win scenario, and this is what I had to share mainly here in order to recap. So first of all, making sure that you do have an offer, be it a BOGO deal, a 15% deal, 20% deal, whatever you think might work best for you or what has worked in the past. Then I would say one of the next things is making sure you have your dates set in stone, because based on that you will have emails going out, you will have the ads running. And last but not least, making sure you have enough creatives and assets to actually run, because you do want to get as many chances, right? It's just like shooting a basketball or a football. If you have 100, let's say, shots, right? You might hit 10, 50, and you are between 10 and 50 to be realistic here, right? But if you shot just 10, like the maximum that you can make is 10, and you need a 100% accuracy. So that's my take here, and I don't want to make this too long, but if it helped, you can leave a like, comment, and we'll be chatting more about offers, ecom, and everything in the next videos as always. But until next time, peace out.